Hey, it's Bradley J, and we're doing something a little bit different today. I'm going to read a Reddit thread under the subreddit Am I the Asshole and read a few of the comments. Why? Well, this one caught my attention. Am I the asshole for kicking my mother out of my wedding for not wearing a hat? New to this thread, but I heard that getting opinions online can help gain perspective. I, 28 female, recently got married to my husband, 25 male, in a big traditional church wedding which would have been perfect, except my mother decided not to wear a hat. As the mother of the bride, it is traditional for her to wear a big fancy hat, but she told me about a week before the big day that she doesn't like wearing hats and that she would be going against my wishes. I wanted the day to be traditionally perfect, and she blatantly was not respecting my wishes by choosing not to. I told her how important this was to me, as I've been dreaming of this since I was a little girl, but she said that she did not want to wear one, even a beautiful and expensive one that I picked out for her to buy. The day came and I was so excited to marry my husband. My father walked me down the aisle and everyone was so pleased to see me. As I approached the front of the church, I noticed that my mother had followed through on her threat and had not worn a hat. I held in my disappointment and anger to marry the love of my life, but later at the party, I went up to her and told her to leave. She thought I was joking, but I was serious. I didn't yell at her, but I told her she was ruining my day because every time I looked at her, I felt the same disappointment and anger I felt when I first saw her walking down the aisle. She cried and told my father, who said I was being ridiculous before leaving. My husband asked what happened, so I told him, and he too said I was overreacting. We ended up arguing during our honeymoon. Am I the asshole for making her leave for not wearing a hat? I mean, a lot of these comments are very negative, and it seems really obvious that the bride is at fault here. I mean, I've got comments like, "You're the asshole. I know it's your wedding, but rather than being happy to marry someone you love, you decided to fixate on what your mother was wearing on her head. You said that you picked out an expensive one. Were you buying or was she? If you expected her to buy it, you're the asshole again. She wasn't a bridesmaid. As long as she's not wearing white and her attire is socially appropriate, you don't get to dictate what she wears." There's this one here that says, "Even a beautiful and expensive one that I picked out for her to buy. So you not only forced her to do something you knew she wasn't comfortable with, but you expected her to do it at her expense? I hope this is bait. You sound insufferable. You didn't even communicate to anyone that this would have been grounds for being uninvited. You're the asshole." And then there's this one that says, "You're the asshole. A hat. You kicked your mom out of your wedding reception because she didn't buy and wear a hat. You ruined your day by getting worked up over a hat. You disappointed both your parents because of a hat. You argued with your husband during your honeymoon because of a hat. A stupid hat. Do you realize how absolutely ridiculous you sound?" I mean, originally there were a few not the asshole comments, a couple of everyone sucks here, but for the majority of the 271 comments, they're very much saying that the bride is in the wrong. Personally, I think that Jade_Blyer was the asshole, and I think this because I wrote it that way. Let's rewind a little bit. One Friday afternoon, I was bored and had watched way too many videos of Minecraft parkour with an AI voice reading articles from Reddit. The idea came to me to write one that features on these channels that makes the writer completely in the wrong and delusional. So after a discussion with my friend group, we came up with a wedding, a bride's mother, and then the big hat. It didn't take too long to write the article, and I posted it just before going out that evening to perform in a murder mystery. By the end of the evening, there were hundreds of comments, and as much as that brought me joy, my goal was to jump platforms and see my story read out by someone other than me. So for the next few days, I googled "bride kicked out mother hat" and was delighted when it jumped into another subreddit, "Am I the devil?" These comments were really interesting, but I also found the most insulting, degrading comment I have ever seen on anything I have written. This is the weird style of writing that is generally AI, but I worry that it is creeping into human writing. I didn't even think of this. Yeah, this seems AI generated. It's traditional for the mother of the bride to wear a big fancy hat. Everyone was excited to see the bride on her own wedding day. I'd sure hope so. I personally take offence to that. There was also a mini debate on whether the hat was traditional, so for context, I did do a Google search and yes, it is traditional in the UK. A few days later and another Google search, I discovered that I had in fact jumped platforms onto Instagram. Brian Toner shared images of the post and that too had a load of comments. So it was only a matter of time before it got read out on a video, right? I never found it. It never happened. And several months later, here I am telling the story, which I at least hope is entertaining. I have one regret though. It was my intention to have a little bit of fun and maybe get a few views on this video. When writing the story, I didn't intend to upset anyone and regrettably, I did. There were several comments which stated that they wouldn't care what their mother wore as long as she was there and their mother was either ill or had passed away. To those people, I am very sorry to upset you. This was never my intention and I don't intend to do this kind of thing again. So, all in all, I failed in my task, upset people whose mothers couldn't attend their wedding, and my writing was accused of being done by an AI. I suppose the upside is how successful this video is, so please give this video a like, share it on your social media and leave a comment below. Thank you very much for watching.